Hey, well, it seems like with all the changes going on in our society nowadays, you don't want to get caught going down with the old ship, with the old economy, and you want to jump ship and get on the new economy where things are going up, not down. I mean, all the traditional things in our society, man, what I see is they're getting smaller and shrinking, and the new stuff is what's growing. And most of us are old in this country, so we're trying to hang on to that old stuff when that's not going anywhere. Things like the internet and crowdfunding and shared economy and peer-to-peer and creating your own jobs, and all the kinds of new things that are happening in our society. Man, and the old stuff, the classified ads looking for, jobs and going to banks for money and, gatekeepers that keep everything, to themselves and decide whether you're worthy enough to take advantage of this. When, man, with the internet, it's a whole new world. It's a new market. I mean, for money, you don't have to go to banks. People, peer-to-peer lending, lend you money cheaper than the banks. For starting businesses, you don't have to go to venture capitalists and fat cats. Crowdfunding gives you money without anything, without even a credit check. Because it comes from thousands of people, not just one fat cat making a decision. So that's what's cool about all this stuff. The shared economy is you can make money out of an extra closet you have, or when you don't use your car, or just stuff laying around the house you don't use. The internet brings you millions of people right to your doorstep who want that stuff and pay money for it. Jobs that you could get now or create yourself on platforms where they handle the marketing, they handle the insurance, they handle all the pain in the butt of doing something yourself, and you just do the work. Man, it's never been easier, before any time in the history of, I think, the world as it is now. Just do your own thing. And get it done easier and things like that. And changing the world isn't getting worse. In some areas it is, and in other areas it's getting better. So look for the stuff that's getting better. Take advantage of that. It's always fun to get when you're surfing, to get on the beginning of a wave to take you in, and you ride for a long time. Instead of you're getting on the wave at the end, it's at the beach already, and you're scraping for a little bit of juice to just hang in there for a little bit. And that's what so much of the old economy is going to. It's shrinking. It's not going to go away overnight, of course not. Just like my age, I remember when TV came and radio was it, and radio's going to go away. Now, see, it's still here, but in a different format. But it wasn't the growth area, like the other mediums now. Now, broadcast television is going down, right? And everybody's watching everything on here. Sure, there's still cable. They're trying to get money from you. But they're a done deal. They're trying to get in the streaming business because that's where it's at. So that's why everything in your job, your career, education even, all this money we spend on higher eds is nuts. And you won't need that as much because most of that is just for a credential to get a job that you're going to hate. Now, they're not hiring more, they're outsourcing more, and people are becoming independent contractors more. I mean, now about a third of us, 33%, are independent contractors. We work for ourselves, and they expect in 5 years it's going to be 90%, I mean, not 90%, 50%. I mean, that's amazing. So half of us won't have a boss, but we'll be making money other ways. Now, that's cool. I think we'll live better inside if we have more control of our lives and what we're doing every day, and not the pressure of all this stuff, working in traditional jobs that creates so much stress inside and illnesses, I think, and all this kind of stuff. I mean, that's just my opinion, but it looks like that's where we're going. So take advantage of the new stuff. And what's another thing about the new stuff? There's no rules. You don't need credentials. You don't need a PhD. Maybe in 5 years or something, you'll need a PhD in peer-to-peer lending or crowdfunding. But now, no. Anybody. You just need to know where it is and start doing it. Because it costs nothing to try. None of this stuff costs any money at all. So start using it. Learn. So you can grow in the future, not shrink. Yeah, I think life is all about knowing your options. And we don't know our options. Man, there's so many options in life. We could never know them all. And the problem is, I see that we go around thinking, well, I can't do that because it seems like I have to have this to do it. Or I have to have that to do it. Like starting a restaurant. Man, the next interview you'll see that, man, who would ever thought that this is available to help you start a restaurant? You know, people without money that need money to start a restaurant. There's a platform, that means a website, you know, where you get people to invest in your website and they become partners, but they get, listen to this, they get like vouchers to come and spend money there, to spend the money that they invested. So if they invest $1,000 in your restaurant, they get like $1,000 of coupons to come to your restaurant and buy food forever. You know, so they feel like an owner, but they're really helping you start your restaurant. I mean, gosh, I don't know anybody would have thought of this, you know, a year ago, and it all happens on the website. You know, you go to a banker, the banker going to tell you about that? No way. The banker doesn't even know how to spell that kind of stuff. They're just selling you money. Yeah. So this is a way to get money that you're not even buying it. You know, people are buying food in the future. So they're buying food in the future, you know, and they're really investors. Then if you make a profit, you give them an extra, you know, dessert in the future, or another coupon or whatever it is, a script to come in and spend money on yourself. And what's neat about this, as you're building up, you know, this whole enthusiasm, right? Yeah, I want to be in a restaurant business, or I want to be in a wine bar business, or whatever kind of thing, but I don't want to figure it out. I just want to be a big shot and go in there and be treated like an owner. They do. That's what it is. So you have extra money to invest in something like this. You know, that's why there's websites to help you do this. And it's amazing. You know? And so as the owner, this is where you're getting the money. You know, people are buying food ahead of time. So you have money to set up your thing, you know? And then, so also, see, when you open the doors in your restaurant, people come rushing in because they have to pay for this. So you have this buzz. You know, 50 people showed up last night, the opening day of your restaurant. You know, and so you learn how to have a good restaurant that way. And the buzz in the community. Look at the big line in front of that restaurant. You know, before it even opened. You know, gosh. I mean, it's just a brilliant idea. You know, and then plus, listen to this. What else they do? They have a place where these people, you know, who are opening restaurants, cook food for you to try. So it's at lunchtime they have some people cooking food that you can come in and you buy it, but to see if you want to invest in it, you know. And the dinner is another. Man, it's just phenomenal. That's what I mean. Who would have think of me before it was? When I grew up, to build a restaurant. Well, now you need like $500,000 to take some place and gut it and change it into this and that and the other thing. And where the heck are you going to find that unless you know some fat cat or you're already a star or something like that? But this is for the people who aren't stars yet and want to be. And it's an avenue that wasn't open before. And that's what I see about the internet. Man, it's getting rid of all these people who were gatekeepers, the bankers, the venture capitalists and everything. And so you had to be a fat cat to talk with them, like a bank. Man, the bank gives you money when you don't need money. What good are they? That's how I got an MBA in 1970, whatever the heck it was. And they were teaching me stuff that I didn't know. I mean, you need money, you go to the bank. That's nonsense. Yeah. If you don't need money, you go to the bank. Yeah. So watch this interview. Keep your mind open. That's why when you're going out looking to do something in life, remember, you have no idea what the options are. And that's why it takes research. It takes scouring. It takes finding out what the hell's out there. Because you'll never ask those questions. Hey, is there a way I could get money to the people buy my food ahead of time before I open the restaurant? Who would have thought of that? See, we don't know the questions to ask. That's why work now involves doing research. And if you go Google, open up a restaurant, what the hell are you going to find? You'll find 1 million websites of people who want to sell you money to open up the restaurant. You never find options like this. Yeah. It takes research effort. So you don't need money. You just need the perseverance to find that stuff. So watch this. Well, Johan Munasiga, and the website is Equity Eats. EQUITYEATS.com. I flunked English in college, so I spell for all this other illiterates out there to make sure they know what they're talking about. But I mean, you guys have like the coolest crowdfunding site in the world, for people interested in food, restaurants. You want to start a restaurant, you want to invest in a restaurant, you want to be cool at a restaurant. And also you outfoxed the SEC, did you? The Security Exchange Commission. So investors can invest in your restaurant now, without, having to become a fat cat to do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thanks for having us here.
Yeah, and that seems to be the neatest thing. Now I can invest in the hot restaurant, and you have an incubator now. You're downtown Washington D.C. I have to come by you because I'm not far. And I hang out down there. That people come in, they taste the food, they see. So they're raising money for a restaurant to open, in Washington. And so as an investor, I could invest up to like $2,500 if I want, right? And you're not going to smell my underwear and my tax returns and all this kind of stuff to do it.
Yeah, exactly. So we allow anyone to invest, regardless of if they're an accredited investor or not, in the offering.
Well, accredited investor, one of those things, there are websites out there for investors, and you have to be what's called accredited investor. That means a fat cat. You got to have like $1 million in the bank or whatever, a high income and stuff like that. So really, you provide an opportunity for the rest of the 99%, right, to invest in restaurants.
Yeah, so basically what we found is that investors in restaurants end up being the best customers. And what we really wanted was the opportunity for people who love food to be able to invest in a local restaurant that they could see open and they want to open. And then once it opens, to go there all the time, enjoy their investment, get a return. So it's not like a donation. You're not donating to someone. You're getting an investment in their business. And as it does well, then you get a return back to you.
So in other words, if you're not a fat cat, you can invest in a restaurant, and what you get back, the money you're putting in the investment, you get in food and drinks and good times. And then as a percentage, because you're now a partner, you get more credits back to spend on the restaurant, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you invest less than $2,500, so let's say you invest $500. The day the restaurant opens, you get $500 in credit to immediately go to the restaurant, check it out, take a couple of friends. And then every year, based on the performance of the restaurant, because you're an investor, you get additional credit to the restaurant.
Wow. Is anybody anywhere doing this?
No, because it's sort of unique, right? So if you crowdfund an apartment building, you're not going to want credit, or they won't give you credit, maybe for your rent. But so it doesn't really work other than with local businesses.
So this is it. So that's why you're specializing in local restaurants. So local restaurants use your crowdfunding platform to get local investors, fat cats or small cats or skinny cats, any kind.
Just closed an investment round in a bakery here in D.C.
Oh yeah, that looks terrific. That couple running the bakery, there's a wonderful video on your website there.
Bakery. So they raised $410,000.
Wow.
150 local investors.
Wow. So 150 of that was from local investors and non-accredited investors.
There were some accredited investors in that pool who invested larger dollar amounts. So they had, I think, 12 investors who invested $25,000 or more.
I see. Wow. Well, that's terrific, man. I mean, what an opportunity it gives for everybody. I mean, everybody to support a local business. I think that's the best thing. When like all these chains are owned by somebody in Dubai or somewhere that you have no idea where they are. Yeah.
Yeah, we think that's the value of crowdfunding ultimately. Like, people can get money lots of different ways, right? There are a lot of, you go to a bank, you can get other investors, you can kind of, however you need to start your business, bootstrap it. But with what we believe, the power of crowdfunding really is having a big customer base. So we think it works really well with local businesses.
But it also secures the foundation for the business. I mean, forever. Not just, if the fat gets angry at you, then the bank's gone, or somebody sells the bank to somebody else. And
Absolutely. You can imagine you have a 50-seat restaurant and you have 300 investors. Your place is always full.
So people are paying you to eat in their restaurant in addition to the food.
Yeah, exactly. It's It's and they love it, because if you're going to dinner tonight, you'll go to your restaurant.
Absolutely. You have friends in the town because you could be a big shot, They'll name a dessert after you or
Absolutely.
yeah.
We've had investors who, when their parents are in town, literally bring them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Wow. No, I remember there was a big hotshot restaurant in town here, and they had my book on the wall, and I'd actually always bring my friends. My book was on the wall,
Absolutely. So they paid $30 for your book, and they got.
Exactly. Right. I'm there all the time. Right. Well, that's terrific. So you're giving opportunities to people who want to start restaurants because you're a new way of finding income for that and starting. And actually, you have a local incubator space there so people could practice their food. Right, but that's only in D.C. So anywhere else in the country, that's not. But now I guess maybe people would love to come to Washington, open a restaurant, so they could start at your incubator thing, find money for your thing, and invest in other restaurants that are great and know everything. I mean that's just a terrific idea. Now you're going around the country and people to find out about the website as an investor or even a potential owner is Equity Eats, EQUITYEATS.com. And you've only been at what, 1-2 years? That's it?
Yeah, and we've been kind of changing, based on what the laws allow.
And you said you have an app too that when you become an investor that you could follow your investment on your phone all the time.
Absolutely. So since we've actually crowdfunded restaurants, what we found is that, you have 350 investors. It's kind of difficult to manage 350 investors, right? Yeah. So we provide an app to the restaurants that does all of the investor management through there.
I see.
And the investors can be special. They have an app that only they get access to. They get, you can send push notifications so they get to know about specials. Check into the restaurant so managers know that they're there. They can track their credits. So it makes it really easy.
Make a reservation too?
Yeah, absolutely.
That alone is worth it. That's wonderful. Well, you're a delight, and I'm glad that you were smart enough to get around the government to figure out how to do this to make the rest of the world happy and not wait for them to get rid of this Jobs Act thing and going. And it's nice. I hear you worked with the local government in D.C. to make sure it happened here. And so it's nice you're thinking, of the bigger picture too, besides just your own stomach and wallet or whatever. Well, thank you again and good luck to you. That's Equity Eats, EQUITYEATS.com. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, this next interview, you got to watch this thing because, we all have good hearts, right? I mean, 99% of the people or whatever, their hearts are probably really good, but they don't get a chance to show people about it. Now, here's a young woman who's showing how to use the internet to do something good from your heart. Now, gosh, how would you ever think it? We're all running around chasing each other, trying to make more money have a bigger house or whatever, impress the neighbors or whatever, and stuff like that because we think we need all this stuff, and we think we can't make money doing something good unless we're going to take a vow of poverty and become a priest. No, there's a way to use capitalism to do good and to use your heart to help something that's important in society. Yeah, and on the internet. I mean, this lady is just terrific. She's raising money now to, she's an African-American woman from Pittsburgh, I think she's from. And she was doing some research in Africa, in the country there, and she saw that one of the people who were making crafts was similar to the crafts that our Native Americans make. The beads and stuff like that, it looked very similar. So what she's done now is got an Indian tribe together, got a city or town in Africa, the women there, who are under, a low income. So low income Indians on an Indian reservation, low income African women on in a town in Africa, and I forget the country, and they're making joint jewelry together because it looks the same. So she's developing a website for these two cultures to have to sell their jewelry together. Wow. See, now that's brilliant to me. And she's at crowdfunding now, raising money to get this venture together. Man, see, anybody could do it. She doesn't have money herself. You know, so many of us sit around and say, well, I'll have a good heart and I'll give a lot of money to the poor after I make my millions. Well, why not make your millions giving money to the poor? And see, with capitalism, see, that's what's so neat about capitalism. You could use capitalism to do it. Yeah, you don't have to be, Henry Ford or whatever, but man, using people, using commerce, and now on the internet, it's all on the internet. She doesn't need much money to do any of this, and she's raising what she needs in crowdfunding. She doesn't need a philanthropist father or whatever to do this. No, she's not writing some big complicated grant to some bureaucratic, foundation to get the money. No, she's going on the internet and figuring all this out. She didn't know how to do it ahead of time. No, you don't. You just have to want to do it. If you want to do something, you'll figure it out. And that's what's neat. And you can. Because see, when you do something on the internet or like this, they're not checking your degrees. They're not checking your income statement. They're not checking your credit score. You're just doing it, man. And look at this woman. I mean, she's doing something from the heart, making herself feel good. And see, anybody who works like that from the heart, I think is just selfish bastards. Because it feels so good to work from your heart and to give like that, And now you have more ways to do that. Why fool around in some job that's jail for 30 years when there's opportunities like this out there? You say, oh, I can't do that. How the hell do you know? That's because you haven't done it before. And the people who are the same way. They can't do that because they haven't done it before. But they just say, hey, I think I could figure it out. And if you think you can't figure it out, man, look at all the idiots you've worked for who figured things out. It doesn't take a mental genius, to figure things out in this country. It just takes perseverance and doing it and doing the research. That's what it is. You can't buy the first thing that comes across your desk and say, hey, that's good. I'll find the money and go into debt to do that. No, you do the research to find the best option. So watch this lady and how she did it. Well, Tierney Mosley, and the website is Idiadega, Idiadega. It's easier to spell than for me to pronounce, but but more importantly, like that beautiful jewelry you have on is what's on that website, right? And you're not just a normal jewelry manufacturer or anything. You're raising money because you're trying to do good for the world. The people who make that jewelry, you're using indigenous people in Africa, right? Plus indigenous people in American Indians, right? Making jewelry together for the first time in the history of mankind.
And that was amazing.
That's amazing.
Already.
And look at that. Show them that bracelet. Yeah, see? I mean, doesn't that look like American Indian? But that's really African, right? And then people, you're bringing these cultures together to make products together. And this is what you're fundraising for on Indiegogo. And you had a program last year on Indiegogo. It was 1,000% successful or whatever. And now you're doing it. And just, boy, having the time of your life bringing these cultures together and showing them how to use, capitalism to support themselves, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The whole idea is that, people are so incredibly talented, and it's not a matter of teaching anyone or training anyone. It's not a matter of teaching someone how to fish. They already know how to fish. They just need a lake to actually fish in. So it's just opening up a market for people on a global scale and connecting people creatively, globally, and it's been awesome.
Wow. So really, like you and I, are 1,000 miles away from apart or whatever. So it's the same way. They could be 7,000 miles away. And collaborate on products, and then plus we as a society get the benefit of that 1 and 1 equals 5.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, the whole idea is thinking about sustainability to include us. We should sustain each other as human beings, our culture, our creativity, and think about how indigenous design can go into the 21st century. Because right now they're kind of the anonymous inspiration. You see design after design in Paris. New York, like I was inspired by Native Americans. I was inspired by the Maasai. Well, let's the Maasai actually design modern stuff. Let the Native Americans actually talk about how they want to have their work.
I mean, look at that gorgeous necklace you have. I actually have 3 necklaces on, don't you?
I always layer. I like to layer.
But that's right. And you're right. And to me, that working directly, and this is what's happening like banking. See, the internet is going to eliminate a lot of banks because, I'm lending money directly on an internet site that goes directly to somebody who's getting that. And we don't have the bank get 80% of the money in the middle, right?
Exactly. And what I love about the crowdfunding is that you actually show your budget. So people actually understand and know where the money is going. And even, like I was talking to your friend earlier, I parsed it out where every mile you help support me get to the Native American community is something that you can see. You can see where it's going. I have a map. I have everything that's showing out.
Oh, I know. It's gorgeous. All the tribes all over, whatever. And so your economic development for that area is wonderful. That's the name of the game. We all need resources to survive. But more importantly, I think that you selling it on the internet is versus having 15 middlemen take this to be charged, 30 times more if you picked it up in a store versus on your website.
Yeah. And I think that that's something that I also about the crowdfunding that's great is that you start to build up a customer base before your product actually hits the market because you have people who said, I believe in your idea, I believe in what you're doing, and I want to see you succeed. So that's a really great way of actually building up customers.
No, right, because they're almost like investors now, because they want a place like that. So if you open a coffee shop in the area, I want that. I'll give you a couple $100 as part of that, and so and you become ownership. Then you become a marketing person too for it because you're excited about that and you're doing it. Yeah, it makes the most sense in the world to do a crowdfunding campaign whether you need it or not.
Yes, just be ready to work because.
Right, exactly. But that's nice. And at least you're working on something that you really believe in. Yeah. And that's not work. Man, that's enjoyment. Yeah. That's not a bad date you can't wait to get over, right?
Exactly. There's no weekends. It's just.
Yeah, it's all, what else are you here for? To just give your heart out all day, right? Exactly. Except when you have a normal job, you don't feel like you're doing that.
No. I don't miss it. I don't miss that.
And look at you got fancy jewelry and everything without having to succumb to a financial services career or something.
I love it. I'm following my heart.
Yeah. But actually your products now, on the website, you still have existing, you're doing the new stuff, but you have existing products, right? So people now even could get that for like holiday gifts that you can't find anywhere else, right?
Exactly. Holiday gift, and it's not anonymous. I work directly with the women in the Maasai village. I live in the village. I can tell you who made that bracelet. I can tell. So and even we just did some orders for the fall, and I was able to write in everyone's order like, Esther made this necklace.
Wonderful. Well, you went to graduate school in Kenya, you mentioned, right?
I did. I went through the Rotary Fellowship.
Oh, and so, your local Rotary Club gave you money to go to Kenya and get a graduate degree? Wow.
Exactly. They have a global program, and most Rotary chapters around the world will either help you get there or will host you. The only thing you have to actually go overseas.
Oh, it has to be overseas, so I can't go to Harvard, in other words.
No. Well, you could if you were somewhere else.
I see, if you live somewhere else. Oh, that's funny. So, in other words, they find accommodations for you, too, huh?
Well, they help. Well, they have a host Rotary that will help you with accommodation and just kind of acclimate you to the country and offer support and actually offer you an opportunity to do service projects.
So then you'd be hooked in the community, too, instead of just a snobby American walking around.
Yeah, you're not just an American on the side. Like you actually get down and dirty. Yeah. I planted trees in the forest in Kenya. I worked on famine relief projects. So it's really great. Wow.
Well, it looks like you built a career after that. So it was a life-changing, transformation for you. And now getting two cultures together to work on projects It's just fantastic. See how easy it is? I mean, you're not a big company. You're not, a millionaire or anything. You just had an idea. You get on the internet. You find the money. Put two different cultures together. You probably didn't know how to spell 5 years ago.
I did. 5 minutes ago.
Anybody could do this, Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. So we find you at Diadega, IDIADEGA.com. How should I have said that? Diadega. Okay. Well, thank you so much. You're a sweetheart and wonderful to use your talent and skills to help the rest of us enjoy the world that it is. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Take care. Okay, I'll tell you why it's important for old people to watch the young people. I mean, people are coming out of college now and not going into traditional jobs. They're starting their own. Right, there's money and everything. Like, watch these two guys that I interviewed. He and his friend, they started a company that really makes batteries. They always wanted to play the guitar on the beach, and they didn't have any battery power. So instead of bringing a big generator or whatever, they figured out a way that, hey, we can make these little batteries to do that and have enough power for that. And so now he's made these little blocks for anybody to do another power any kind of electronic equipment anywhere. But more importantly, they're barely out of college, And now they're creating a job. They went on the internet and got they're up to $38,000 already. See, and that's what's happening. See, jobs are going to be fewer and fewer, traditional jobs. I mean, that's a shrinking market. More and more of us are going to be working for ourselves. And that's why if you have old think and thinks, well, when I need a job, I'll go look for one. No, when you need a job, you go create one nowadays. That's what's going on, and that's why the young people know this. They're graduating out with a degree and can't do anything, can't get a job, so they're creating one. What will happen at our age or whatever, or older people that can't get one and they sit and moan and don't know their options. See, you have options now to go out and create your own job. And man, what a joy. Instead of working for somebody and sitting in traffic and doing all those things that become miserable with a job you don't care about, they're creating something they love doing, love to care about. They always thought that this was great to have and want other people to realize it. And that's what life is about, sharing your enthusiasm, not feeling like, your work every day is somebody's batten down on your enthusiasm. You're not going to grow that way. How are you going to grow as a human? And even older people like me, I figure I have maybe 20, 30 more years left. Man, I want to keep growing forever. So at 40 or 50 or whatever, man, you're just starting again. You have to think, though, like a 25-year-old. And look in the future. Don't look in the past and figure out what worked before and try to do it again, because none of those things are working anymore. And that's why the young people coming out, they don't know any alternative. They go get a job, can't, well, they look for something else. Because the future is open for them. It closes as we get elder, and it shouldn't. Because those kids at 25 aren't thinking more than 20 or 30 years ahead of where they are now. And so even at 50, 60, 70, it's the same thing. I figure 20 more years. And I got to look ahead because I want to be contributing for 20 or 30 more years. So that's why, watch how these young people do it. You'll see, they didn't have any, training in this. They barely had any college. I don't think they had any college courses on it. Well, they figured out that's what's available now. So watch this, and then go and do your own. Do it on the side. Do it part-time or whatever. Start feeling that, power you get and the enthusiasm you have. Watch. Well, Avi, and I won't even try to say your last name. Say it for us.
Venkata Subramanian.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Well, I knew that. What do you have to tell me that for? But really, I think we should change your name to the new Thomas Edison of the world, man. You invented electricity and power for everybody, anywhere, right? And you're barely out of college. You just got graduated from college like 3 weeks ago or whatever the heck it is. and you have this, and now you have a little gadget that we take our power plug anywhere in the world. And what's so neat about it is that you guys wanted to do this because you wanted to play your guitar on the beach. And now, as an old guy, I don't play guitar, but I want a power wherever I go. Up in the mountains, on the boat, into the new world, or when, I'm at the coffee shop and I don't have a plug, anywhere. God, it's just phenomenal. Well, tell it. How'd you know how to make this goddamn thing?
To be honest, I am not the intelligence behind actually how it came to life. That would be my partner, who's a mechanical engineer.
Yeah, but he's your age, right? You were in school together, so he's not some 80-year-old, guru or whatever.
Right. So traditionally, people used to use, big car batteries and inverters, and they used to carry that around, and that weighs at least 5 kilograms, and it's pretty bulky. So the innovative part is being able to combine these two things into something so small and still be able to, contain the heat and power.
Wow. It looks about the size of a half a brick kind of thing, right? Maybe about that size.
Yeah, it's about as long as basically my smartphone over here,
that's
S6.
it, right.
And it's a bit,
about 4 or 5 inches that way. And so these things, you can have extra batteries too, right? Power supplies. So a power supply will run your iPhone for 13 days or something like that if it had to, right?
Yep, it can charge your iPhone 14 times.
Wow.
Which is good for 2 weeks.
Right. And then even running a PC.
You can just get an extra battery.
Activate, yeah. It's remarkable. And even, here in the States, we're becoming like a third world country now. Our power goes on and off. I live in one of the wealthiest suburbs in the country, and we lose power for days at a time sometimes. It's stupid. I don't understand. I think we become so complicated, and our infrastructure is so, tricky, that it's easy to, or maybe we're getting hacked by people in China. I don't know. But now I can have extra power anywhere. God, and you have important items sometimes in your household. I don't know. You want to heat a baby's bottle, or I don't know. But they're important. Products that we use sometimes that are very important to us, like medical products or something, that you will have power forever. Oh, that's power. and so now you're on Indiegogo. You have a campaign, and you're to find it. It's easier to go to GetYourAtom, ATOM.com. That takes you to Indiegogo. And this thing is I could get a copy for only $150. That's it.
Yep, $150. Wow. That's an early bird special.
Right.
So hopefully you go there right away soon. And there's about 150 of them that are available.
Wow. But more importantly, man, if I don't get it in your campaign, I'm going to pay $250 or whatever it is when this thing comes out on the market. So that's and even though you guys are delivering early part of next year, right? But this will be neat for Christmas because you get, show them, hey, this is what's coming, man, and excite people at Christmas time with the power for the rest of their life anywhere in the world they go.
Yeah, we're going to try to get it out as soon as possible. We're giving ourselves some leeway as well, just in case, for unforeseen circumstances. So hopefully we'll get to them as soon as possible.
Oh, so you're wise. Even a 21-year-old, how could you be so wise and realize that there's potential problems ahead that you don't know about? You have to leave that up to those old guys to tell you that. You should know that already. That's what you need old people for. Yeah.
We learn. We have advisors. We have people to tell us.
Well, even though if you did, you'll make it happen anyway because you have that power of enthusiasm, and wanting something for the rest of us that you see is so important because it's so practical to you. I'm sure when you say, "Hey, why the hell didn't anybody do this before? This is why do we need a 5-mile power cord to play the guitar on the beach?"
Exactly. I mean, the portable chargers and power banks have existed for a really long time now, and everyone has them for their phones and tablets. Right. But yeah, it just didn't make sense to me. How come there wasn't a wall plug that was portable? There are some other options right now that do exist, but in terms of power and having extra batteries and things like that, Atom is one of its kind.
And the convenience of what you have. I mean, I have at my home a generator. Maybe it's big as a small refrigerator. And that's loud as hell. And so I could get power there, and it has plugs in it. But I mean, that's stupid. I can't take that to the coffee shop. That doesn't have. Yeah, I mean, batteries are the most important thing in our life now, it seems. And you've solved a huge problem for that. And maybe it takes a 21-year-old to realize how easy. Old people don't even see the problem. Oh, you just plug it in the wall. The wall isn't always there.
Exactly. I mean, it's sort of with a very basic need. We literally just wanted to be able to play our own music at the beach, and yeah.
So
now we're able to, musicians, photographers, outdoor enthusiasts, anyone can use their electronics up to 150 watts now using the Atom.
Wow.
It's pretty crazy to see it go from idea to actually being there in reality.
Yeah, I mean, here we do a lot of camping and outdoor activities and things like that in the States. And this is ideal without having that big generator thing, So you have your little packet, and an extra battery or two that you stick in, and man, you're good for the weekend no matter what happens. Yeah, that's what. And that's a way of the motivation of a 21-year-old guy is really girls on the beach that made it happen, right? Well, thank God for hormones. See, the hormones gave us this great idea that the rest of us use it for more practical reasons. Well, at 21, that's more practical than anything I'm going to use it for anyway. Well, you're a wonderful guy, and nice to meet you. And to find out more about it, it's GetYourAtom, GetYourAtom.com. Right, and that's where to find this terrific product, and you guys are just doing a terrific job. And you're going to make your quota. It's going to solve problems in the world, and you're going to be, pardon me? You're going to be, a famous person inventing electricity to carry in.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Yeah, but if anything happens, you have enough desire to get over any obstacle that's in the way, and that's the key thing in life. There are obstacles always, but if you have the heart and the desire to get over it, man, you'll find a way to do it and make it happen.
For sure, definitely.
Well, so thanks for being there and doing this stuff for the rest of us. Because I'm selfish. I want one of these things.
Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. Well. Thank you, Avi. Take care. Well, I am shocked how man, the world is changing. People I thought ran things don't run things anymore. Yeah, and it's people without even backgrounds in the area. Now here, listen, watch this interview because it's actually two young guys who have a company now that take temperatures in the ear in 2 seconds. Man, I don't know if you have kids, you have to take the temperature of your kid, the thermometer, and then the tongue and the ear and the butt or wherever you're putting it in and things like that. Now, man, just because of technology. These are people who know the internet, they know technology and whatever, and they make things happen without going to some big pharmaceutical company or Johnson & Johnson and all that kind of stuff. Man, no, they're not ruling everything anymore. It's little guys like this who don't even have background in medicine even say, hey, there's a need for this. And they figured it out. And that's what's so cool. Man, never before has it been like this. And maybe young people don't realize this, and they think they can do everything because there's no stopping anybody. Old people, it's hard for us to get our mind around this. Like, God, you mean you could do this without any background, without the education, without a PhD in health or medicine or an MD and things like that? No. That's what it's all about. You're just doing it. And they're coming out, they're crowdfunding, so you got to get money to make it happen, because all they have is sort of like the prototype or whatever. So they go online now and find the money, raise the money for people think this is a cool idea. So instead of going to your stockbroker and giving money to invest in Johnson & Johnson, say, no, these young guys have a great idea. Let's give them some money. And what they get is ahead of time is that product, because they want a product. So they get a couple hundred people, whatever, that invest early in the product, and they're getting a product, and they're making it happen. And that's what's so amazing to me. Now, people buy things when they're not even ready, not even available. I mean, you can't go to stores and say, hey, I'll have that milk next year. Here's the money. People do it online to do that. And that's why it's another hard thing for us to get our head around. If you're over 30, man, that's a hard concept. Over 50, man, that gets unimaginable. 60, 70, like me, Jesus, who the hell invented this stuff? But there's a lot of us out here, and that's where the world is going. And that's why we have to be aware of what's going on. And it doesn't stop you. So that means at 40, 50, 60, you can start something new and any idea. Doesn't matter, because it does. If you're sitting there thinking you need credentials to do something, you don't. You don't. You have to know how to use this guy, and you do the homework. It's all about doing homework. To spend time doing homework. It's not about spending money. Everybody thinks, well, I can't get this done because I can't spend money. No, it's not spending money. It's doing homework. That's how you get it done. Because if you do enough homework, you'll get it for free. Find money to make it happen. If you're lazy and don't want to do that, then you think the only option is having money. And then you say, oh, I don't have money, so I can't do it. No, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't at all. Watch these young guys. And actually, they have a service with this. A $10 a month doctor, a virtual doctor that you could call anybody. Hey, the kid's blue and has a temperature of 92 or whatever. And to get advice just like that 24/7. So it's a little extra benefit. I don't understand it much, but it's interesting. And you may want to figure it out. It's called MyAdrena. ADRINA. I looked them up on the internet, and they're a real kind of company. They're doing this kind of thing, so they're bundling it with this product also. So take a look at it. More, maybe you don't want to know how to take your temperature in 2 seconds, but more actually how to get the funding to do these kinds of things. This guy's running this campaign as a partner in it. He's done 12 crowdfunding campaigns already. 12. He's not after millions. Nah, just get 10, 20, 30,000. That's enough to get you going and get down the road. And you see the other things that you get from doing a campaign, a crowdfunding campaign. First of all, it costs nothing. And you get people to tell you what's good and bad about your product. You get distributors that find out about you, and they'll make more money than you'll ever make on crowdfunding by getting it in some store or some other person that has a chain of something or other that wants to sell products like this. Remember, everybody's looking for new ideas. So if you and I have an idea, you got to get out there and tell people. So watch this. Well, Ryan McManus of Timpani, or mytimpani.com. That's mytimpani.com. I spell it for everybody. I flunked English in college, so I know there's a lot of people out there like me who can't spell. But it's phenomenal, Ryan. So you've been involved with 12 crowdfunding campaigns, so you're almost the guru of the United States on crowdfunding. But this thermometer that you have in your ear, $25, it's a killer. And for 2 seconds, you put this in your ear, child's ear, and you get your temperature on your iPhone.
Yep, works in 2 seconds, really quick. We've been having a great crowdfunding campaign, so I'm really glad you found it.
Wow, but 2 seconds. I mean, I grew up with two kids, and to make that, even if it's the ear thing or the butt or the mouth or wherever you put this thing, man, the kids hate it. 2 seconds, they won't even know it's there.
Anyway, it's a hassle, and it's all recorded on your phone. And so we wanted to make the easiest thermometer to use, and it allows you to track all of your temperature.
Wow.
One of the things we keep hearing from parents is, it's big difference between reading 100.5 and 105. And Christians tell us stories about frantic parents calling and saying, it said 105. I know it said 105. You can go on your phone. You can see.
Can you send files to your doctor too?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the cool things about what we're doing with this product is it's a thermometer. It's a smart thermometer that's going to allow you to connect with a virtual doctor service. So Americans are just learning about the opportunity to have a full doctor visit. And we partnered with a service called Ardina. So for $10 a month, you're going to be able to, through the app.
Ardina, A-R-D, is it A-R-D-I-N-A?
Yep, A-R-D-I-N-A.
So that's, for $10 a month on the app, goes into the doctor thing that looks at the temperatures all the time and what's going on with me.
No extra cost. It's a full doctor visit. And that $10 a month works for the entire family. So you've got your parents, the kids. Think of it. I have two little girls, 3 and 1. There's always something that
God, at that age, yes.
Sometimes you just want to talk to somebody and have an actual doctor visit, and we're going to make that really, really easy. And the thermometer is just our first product, so we're really excited to see that.
I see.
God, it's about collecting vital signs of human health and doing it at home. So instead of creating clinical devices that are going to go through a hospital first and then get pushed to consumers, we're creating consumer devices first. And we're starting with vital signs. The thermometer is important because temperature is the red flag warning system for the body.
Yes.
We also see that weight and body mass, blood pressure, and activity are the critical data, life data.
What do you mean activity? What do you mean by activity?
So steps in sleep.
I see.
How active are you? Are you running? That information can be captured through your phone, but it can also be captured through a wearable device.
So you're thinking down the road, like the thermometer is just one of these other kinds of products you'll probably have, and hooked into this $10 a month thing for the whole family, that you have, a professional on the other end monitoring these vital signs? Is this what's happening on the other end, or someone to talk to about it, or what?
So you're going to be able to track your own personal healthcare record in our Caring Things app. You're going to be able to journal. You're going to take notes about how you feel. When you go into your doctor, you can take it with you. Or if you have a virtual doctor visit through Ardina, you're going to be able to share that healthcare record with them. So how often have you gone into the doctor, you're sitting in the car, you're sitting in the waiting room, I've got the questions. You sit down, the doctor starts talking to you, you say, great, I can get out of here. I forgot to ask all of those questions.
Right. Oh, yeah, no. Well, that doctor has his hand on the doorknob waiting to get out all the time. Because you got 5 other naked people down the hall you've got to look at.
Right. And the healthcare record that the doctor has is great and important, but you don't have access to it. So this is the consumer's personal healthcare record.
Now, when you, the service that you're hooked up $10, if I want to talk to a doctor, there's an extra charge for that, or how does that work?
No, it's $10 flat every single month. You can call as much as you want.
No kidding.
Whole family. Anybody, grandma lives in the house, she can call too.
Wow.
And
so Ardina, that's working now, right? So
it's live now.
It is live now. So if I get the thermometer, the $25 thermometer that hooks to my Android or iPhone for 2 seconds, I get that, then I could also sign up for the $10 a month thing, right?
Absolutely. You can start using that right now.
Wow.
Even before you get the thermometer.
Oh, really? Wow.
I use it. My whole team uses it.
Wow.
It saves a lot of money, and especially for you talk to a lot of entrepreneurs that can't afford health insurance. Right. Or they don't offer health insurance. This is a perfect plan. $10.
Wow. So in other words, God, I have this rash, I have whatever, so it's a place to call to get some feedback on it. And then if I have the app on my phone, then they get the temperature, say, oh, you got 102, man. Get the emergency room.
Exactly. What does this sore look like? Need a second.
Oh, I see. So you could show them.
You can do a video chat, and you can do it all from the comfort of your home. So you don't just You also save a lot of time and hassle.
Well, you're saving that expensive doctor a lot of time and hassle too. That's the important thing. So healthcare. So your little app is going to cut healthcare costs. Why didn't Obama know about this?
You know, I think Obama's thinking very far out in what he's done with healthcare, and we see that health insurance is going to operate one way. It's going to continue to be expensive, and they're trying to get more and more Americans on health insurance, but it doesn't fit for millennials.
Right.
Our products are made for millennials. It's smart thermometers. It's products like services like Ardena that let you stay home when you're sick.
Right.
Those are the types of things that are going to really disrupt.
I see. Oh, that's terrific. Gosh, so I mean, you know, on your crowdfunding campaign, by the way, the video on there is just delightful. You know, and the people got to go to your website just so they see this video. So it's MyTympani, MyTympani.com. Yeah. So, and that's why, but see, I mean, this $10 a month doctor is phenomenal. I mean, it needs $300-400 a month to get healthcare coverage, and this is, and this is for the whole goddamn family.
You know what our biggest challenge is? They think it's too good to be true, and they think it's a gotcha. We're guilty by association because healthcare is
hucksters like me on television. Got to make a free $1 million. That's what you're trying to fight. We spoiled the water for you. But I mean, it's important stuff, and healthcare. I mean, I just think it's a sin that we all don't have healthcare in this country. God, I mean, we have roads. You know, why the hell don't we have healthcare? And people are not using themselves to the fullest to contribute to our nation. You know, and they're basing it around a healthcare plan. It's just stupid.
Absolutely. There's a fifth of Americans, healthcare is just not a part of their lifestyle in any way. If you get sick, you tough it out.
Yeah. Wow. That's silly. Well, this is wonderful, Ryan. I think what you guys are doing, and you obviously have a long-range plan. You know, so it's not only the $20 thermometer for 2 seconds, and you get the data on your iPhone. That's wonderful. I feel like the guy Black? You know, who's Jon Stewart? Yeah. Whoa! Pardon me.
The problems of healthcare are rant-worthy.
Exactly. You're solving them, and you're going to have a long career solving a lot more out of them, a lot more of these problems. So MyTympani, MyTympani.com. Thank you so much, and being from Columbus, right in the heart of America.
Love to be here with you.
Take care.